Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and I'm here with Roger, who was less of a man than he once was. Turn sideways. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. Oh, not twins anymore.
Nope.
Well, I'm still working on mine. But anyway, we were just having a chit chat about carpeting, and of course, we actually brought Roger was having an issue with his Vonschrader machine and driving us crazy. But we managed to figure out that we had a leaking gasket, and then the foam generator.
And a hose.
The hose was a little bit of a hose issue. Hose was hosed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I found my old
Magic
I found
box.
I found my box of old Vonschrader parts. Look at this. Got a whole pile of things in here that I took off machines over the years, and I had another one of these hoses which we replaced, and then there was what was the thing?
That piece. Yeah, where's that?
It's down here somewhere.
Lost it already.
No, it's right here. We took this one off of his, because look at this. See the can you see that? How that's where the hose attaches right there. Yep. And it's all gone out of shape because this attaches onto the manifold right here. And of course the exhaust to the motor is coming through here, and it gets really hot, and over the years of using it, it actually starts to warp. And then the hose, which was on here, it had compressed. There was almost no hose left around here. It was so old and decrepit. That machine is like 15 years old or more, eh?
Yeah.
So anyway, nothing lasts forever, right?
Apparently not.
Anyway, today we wanted to talk. What we were talking about a minute. He was telling me how he was. He actually thought the other day that he was going to throw away his low moisture and become a truck mount operator again. What happened, Roger?
The context. So I'm in this hole with a Berber carpet, and it's bad, and a sofa that's gray, but it looks brown because the dogs were on it, and the Vonschrader wasn't working properly. I mean, for the most part, it looked great, but it wasn't as good as like I like it to be, and I couldn't tell what I needed to redo because it was so wet. So then I go do the carpets, and it just wasn't coming up. And I was kind of frustrated. So when you're frustrated, you stop thinking. So a really good tip is calm down, slow down, and think about it. Because when I phoned you, you immediately said, well, it's from the dog grease. You needed to put a little bit more degreaser or some sort of something to deal with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the mix.
Yeah, I talked to you about in that case. I suggested the radical rinse.
Right, the radical rinse.
Which you had forgotten
Which
about.
I then had in my truck, but I forgot about. And I'd also forgotten about where my grease lightning was and the stuff I normally use.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it doesn't pay to get upset. But now we know. And I can always go back and do that. I have to actually phone her because she hasn't paid me yet, so I'm thinking she's not happy.
Maybe, eh?
Yeah, maybe. So, but it's good to check, right?
Well, yeah, no, it's always all a learning experience, and
Yeah.
and one of the challenges, no matter what you're cleaning with, is when you come into those situations where if a doggie's been laying all over the carpet and it's got a lot of doggy oils in there, yeah, that's always a challenge, no matter what you clean with. But with the advantage of using the machine that you're using, which is a rotary, and you've got the fiber pads and whatever, and you can really take the time to scrub.
Well, we did a fantastic job of our son's room where all the pea stains were.
Oh yeah.
That came out beautiful. So I know it works, but in the back of your mind go, but it doesn't work for everything, and yet it does, except for Chinese restaurants.
What's wrong with Chinese restaurants, Roger?
They're not open.
Oh, good thing,
I
eh?
love my Chinese food.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Anyways, so now we're having a discussion about
The fiber pads. Okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Let me, before I forget.
Oh.
So the other issue I had was my orbiter. So those guys use the orbiter for stairs. The Velcro that we're using to hold the pads on, I'm always having issues with the two-way pads. They clog it up, and then I have to change them over. And the last one I put on, 5 jobs, it clogged it up, couldn't use it. So I went back to using my brush that comes with the work.
The black one?
The black one.
Yeah.
And it worked beautiful. It was just like one of the best stair jobs I've ever done. And so I realized I had not really thought about the process long enough, and I just discarded that because I like the two-way pads better anyways. It was faster. But because I can't keep them on the thing very well, I was forced to use that. And I discovered, hey, this works really well.
Did you put a pad on afterwards?
Then I used the cotton pad after that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked good. Yeah, when I run into a really bad set of stairs, then I'll put the black brush on as well.
Yeah. I almost put a video up. I need to put all the photos together and just do a short little post on it in one of the groups.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, because I was amazed, and I was like, you know what? Trials bring out the worst in you, but also the best in you because it forces you to think.
Thinking
Yeah,
is good.
thinking is good, and so I learned something new, and it worked out well, and I was super excited.
Well, I think that one of the things about doing this is that we do end up with situations where you have to stop and actually start to think. And I find that when I'm with the VLM, the answer isn't just simply pull the trigger and put more water down, like when you were truck mount. That was always the answer, right?
Right.
What's the answer? Well, pull the trigger,
Yeah.
right? Now you have to actually stop and think, okay, what will get the end result? And you get the end result.
Yeah. But let me tell you what a time when the pulling trigger did work. I was doing a Greek restaurant that I've done before with truck mount. Last year I did it with VLM, and they were super happy, so they called me back. And this year it just wasn't coming up. And what I ended up doing was changing back to the red pad because at the time that's all I had. Last time I've done it, and it was working better than the fiber pad. But I never did
Working better than the what?
the hog's hair pad.
Okay.
But I didn't actually go and put the hog's hair back on and try the new thing. So what I discovered was I wasn't putting enough solution down because when I put more solution down, then I could see the change,
Oh yeah.
and then I kept going it.
Ah.
Knowing I had to use more absorbent pads, I used a lot of them to pick all that up.
Because you were dealing with a lot more grease in the carpet.
Yeah, so because as the job was
Oh,
dragging
and,
on.
and let me just stop 1 sec right there, and I'm going to give you a little tip.
Yeah,
Okay, here's the tip. One of the reasons why that'll happen on a carpet with a lot of grease is because grease is the foam killer,
oh, okay.
right? Like if you go on a greasy carpet with a Vonschrader LMX, the carpet machine, that's one of the reasons why they will tell you got to use the grease lightning, because it produces way more foam, because when the foam hits the grease, it immediately dissolves the foam into liquid. And the same thing will happen when you're running over it with a fiber pad with your rotary, because you're used to seeing a little bit of a white film on the carpet because it's foaming up a bit, but because of the large amount of grease in the carpet, it will actually kill that foam, which is why when you pulled your trigger and really start dumping way more solution down, you were able to overcome the grease, because what the grease is doing is it's a defoamer.
Right. Interesting.
You want to get rid of the grease, the foam in your tank, throw some grease in there. So that's why.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. But they're trial and error, right?
Yeah.
I knew I was supposed to get certain results. I wasn't getting it. So what can I do different? And so now I'll change up my mixture for that restaurant because I was using release at DS2.
Oh yeah.
The last year, which is maybe it works a little differently. I don't know.
Yeah, but just bear in mind you do still have some grease lightning, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you who are listening and wondering what are they talking about? What is grease lightning? Grease lightning is a Vonschrader product. And it is basically it's meant for cleaning restaurants. So it has real high foam content. It also has geliamine in it, and I wouldn't recommend spraying it though because it has a bit of a noxious smell when you aerosol it.
You really notice that? Yeah, you can feel it on your lungs.
Yeah, it's because it's got a really high surfactant in it, is percent in it, so it does have there's a pungency to it. So,
yeah. But I use it for traffic areas, but very sparingly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
I had one customer years back where I used it as for taking out some spots, and she complained about the smell, even though I didn't think it was. I mean, I could smell a little bit, but I didn't think it was very bad. But she was a little annoyed because she said, "You told me it was odorless." So I was like, "Okay," and that's when I stopped using it because I thought, "Okay, I can't use this anymore."
Yeah, I use a different product unless that doesn't work. Then I'll go to the grease lightning.
But choices again.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about fiber pads. Okay, now you come on over here, Roger. You can hold those for me, okay? Now Roger, of course, he's using the rotary machines and he's using the fiber pads. And what he's holding there is the the white one on the bottom, which is the one. This will be safe on. Pardon me. Yeah. You use the white pads, don't you?
No.
What do you use?
I have them. I I never really thought about using them because I use this
Oh,
almost all the
okay.
time.
You've switched over to this. Not
Yeah.
too long ago though, because
That's right.
right now
I was using the red pads.
red
before.
pads, which I have.
Right there.
Oh, there's one there. Okay, there's the red pad right there. Okay, but the white pad works great on everything, and it's safe on everything, and it's a gentler. It's not as coarse a fiber on there, and you can feel that, eh?
Really smooth.
Almost smooth.
That
It feels.
hurts. That doesn't.
I'll get to that one in a minute. Now, the reason why the fiber pads work so well is because there's millions of. If we can get the light on there, if I can get that. There's millions of fibers, and they're going in every direction. So as you go over the carpet, you're getting a tremendous amount of contact area on the carpet fiber. So they really cut through the oil and grease very effectively. Now, let's have a look at this one.
I just have to respond to this guy right away because I was supposed to do it 20 minutes ago.
All right. So this one here, this is the hog's hair, and it is stiffer. And what you're looking at is most of these fibers that are sticking out of here. These are actually hog's hair, literally from a hog, from a pig, and you know it certainly feels quite aggressive, but it's got actually a more open cell, like there's more openness to the compared to the white one, right?
Yeah.
So now some people would say that, well, maybe that might be too aggressive on a carpet, and of course that was one reason why I was hesitant to use one in the first place. But it was Matthew McNabb that told me about them. And the white ones, by the way, as far as the fiber pads go, we do have to acknowledge Rick Galinas
Yeah.
for turning us all on to the use of these on carpet, because who would have thunk of it? But Rick Galinas did, who brought us the Cymex, imported the Cymex, and was the main distributor in North America.
Release it DS too.
And the Release It product, and was very clever at coming up with a new way of saying carpet shampooing. We call it now encapsulating. But anyway, one thing you can do, here it is. What I will do sometimes if I think that the carpet might be a bit of a, if I've had any concern, I will put okay, completely escaped my mind what this is called now. A glider, a plastic thingy, a thingamajig.
Yeah.
This is a thingamajig. And of course, there's Velcro on the other side. This actually these ones, we've got a couple of those. They come from Orbot, USA. They make them, sell them for the Orbot machine and the Vibe. But you can get any plastic shop to make a disc. It's just ABS plastic, about maybe an eighth of an inch thick or so, maybe a bit less. And then some Velcro glued on the other side. And if you think you want to relieve the torque, if you are afraid, whether it be the white pad or the hog's hair or red pad, whatever one you're using, you can relieve the friction by using a glider.
Right. If you don't have one of these yet, you can spray this and then spray a little area where you're starting to get that initial smoothness going. And then when you're feeding the solution down, it takes up for it.
Right.
But there are times when I wish I had one of these.
Yeah, well, you can just use a CD.
What's a CD?
Okay, do you still use cassette tapes?
My daughter discovered.
You're an 8-track guy, aren't you?
My 2-year-old daughter discovered you could put a CD into a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk when they still had those.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyways, so a CD, put Velcro on the other side, and away you go. That'll work.
Yep.
Although this is a bit larger, obviously, than a CD. So, anyway, one thing I wanted to show is the difference between. You can pick that one up again.
Right.
Now this one is brand new, never been used. You just drop that on the floor. And this is one that's been used. And notice how, can we see that? One is quite a bit thicker than the other. So this one's been wearing down, and and since it's been used a few times already, quite a few times, for a few weeks actually, it's less aggressive as compared to the brand new one. So if I need to clean this off.
Way better.
So, well, sometimes you'll want to start with a brand new one, depending on the carpet you're on, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas if you've on a carpet and you're maybe concerned that maybe this is a little bit too aggressive, you can go to one you've already broken in a few times. This, of course, is actually, this is a white one. And I'll get the brand new white one here. Oops, same thing. Basically, you can see that the brand new white one is thicker than the one that's been worn in. You got another one there. This one is even a little bit more worn in. And the side that's being used, I normally only use one side. You can flip them too, by the way, of course. But as you use it, it actually has less and less aggression. So just bear that in mind. And so I carry, well, I probably got about half a dozen or more in the van at a time, all in various stages of wear. You know, everything from a brand new one to ones that are almost done for, and then I get rid of them and put a new one or two in the van. So I just wanted to show everybody that whether you're using the white one or the hog's hair or red one or whatever you want to use, the glider is a good thing to have on hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
this is really good on places that aren't very soiled.
Yeah.
And you can go a lot faster with them. There's less grippiness, right? So
Yeah.
below this would be what, the two-way pad? If you wanted to get milder than this.
Yeah, two-way pad is milder. Now, by the way, you can certainly use these white fiber pads on wool carpeting, no problem.
Oh, that's really good to know.
Yeah, oh yeah, they work really well.
I only use the two-way on wool.
Oh, you can use the white fiber pad, no problem.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, not a problem. Wool is actually a lot more resilient than people realize, actually.
Yeah. Well, we don't get a lot out where I live, so.
He lives. Do you have electricity? Oh, you do. You have to, or you wouldn't be a carpet cleaner out there with an electric machine. It's been recent, though.
We have interweb, too.
You have what?
Interweb.
Interweb. Wow. And flush toilets?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Neighbors got one.
The neighbors have one. Ain't it great?
No joke. On our property that we're renting, there's actually an outhouse.
That's handy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to use it, but it's still a functional house that's been there since the guys built it in the 50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So what else we got to say here, Roger?
Well, we didn't talk about the Iron Man pads, the swords and those because
Today I wanted to just focus on the fiber pads.
yeah, but then people have to watch another video to learn about those.
Oh, well, tell me. Okay, tell me how you typically do a job.
Typically, do a job.
You do a job and it's fairly soiled, needs a good clean, right?
Yep, so do a really good pre-vac, because if you don't pre-vac this kind of stuff here,
you got a lot more of it.
You get a lot of it, and it collects on the edge.
Yeah.
And then you get little fuzz balls everywhere, and then you're gonna have to vacuum again.
Yeah.
But you always post vac, whereas I use the grooming brush. Yeah. But yeah, vacuum really good.
The fiber pads, another thing I should point out, they really pull out hair.
They do. You can vacuum like a place with cat hair, dog hair.
Yeah.
And you use those, and you still get more up.
Oh, you get tons.
And you always point it out to the customer. Look
Yeah.
at what we're doing that you can't do or no one else can do.
So the fiber pad really pulls out the
Yeah.
fat.
And you can actually show them on there how much is coming up.
So some guys might think, well, look how much longer you're going to take if you're going to go and scrub it with the fiber pad and then go over it with a Iron Man or whatever. Is that a problem?
No, because you're charging more.
Very good answer.
Number one. Number two, when you've got a truck mount, you're taking hoses in and out. Now, in some jobs, on a small job, truck mount's way faster. You charge it with your hose, you work your way back out.
Because you didn't pre-vac.
Because you don't pre-vac. Even if you pre-vac, you'll still be faster.
But you're charging more for what you're doing
You're charging
today.
more for what you're doing.
And you're earning more because you're not spending as much.
Yeah, exactly. So you differentiate yourself from everybody else in the marketplace.
So have you sold your truck mount?
No, it's got a little more fixing on it.
What is it, 50,000 now?
Yeah.
Going up in price.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So basically what I do is I pre-vac and I determine which pads I'm going to bring in.
Just stand over there because you're in the
Determine
shadow.
which pads I'm going to bring in, so not making two trips of truck. I'm doing a lot more pre-spraying now of traffic areas, traffic lanes, and working in with my grooming brush.
When you say pre-spray, what are you doing?
I got a little trigger sprayer.
You're not using a pump up?
No.
Why not?
I have one.
Why not?
I don't like using it.
Why?
Number one. Number two, I don't have to use hardly any.
Right. So, and that's one of the things I've been trying to point out to people in my videos is you know, especially if you're coming from using a truck mount, you're used to hosing the carpet, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And that's, you've realized now that you don't. I mean, I keep telling you, all you need to do is get enough to get it a little bit damp, that's it.
Yeah.
because what you've got is you've got an incredible agitation tool.
Yeah. So what I'm learning is by pre-spraying a little bit and working it in.
Yeah,
And I only do like a living room at a time or a bedroom at a time. I don't go and do multiples
yeah,
because I'm finding it dries too fast.
yeah.
Or I'm not sure if it's going to dry too fast. But it's something you can check as you go. Basement's a little cooler. It's not so bad. But so pre-spray a bit, clean it, and what I'll do now, I used to do the edges, and now I go over the worst areas first, give it that bit of agitation and let it sit. Then I do the perimeter and work my way back to that. And by then, it actually works better because
So
you get dwell time.
So you're learning how to use the tool.
I'm thinking more about how can I make this better.
Yeah.
Like for example, on the I don't know the machine out here, but on the tank we put in our trigger spares in the tank,
Yes.
right? Well, I'm thinking of putting a little belt around, a Velcro belt, and putting stuff like scissors, little brush, and different things on there, like to make it so not carrying on my waist.
Well, I have that on my machine.
Yeah, you've got other stuff you hook on your machine, which is kind of cool.
I got my scissors on there, and I got a little brush and a little
I
towel.
have that now on the trigger. They fit on there nicely.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, that's aside from the point. But is thinking about the job, how can I do it better and faster and more efficiently? And then what I'm learning now, instead of getting mad about something not working, take time to think about it, try some different things, and learn on the job, and then just use that next time going forward. So you always have the best practices.
You still having fun?
I am after the last job. But the second last job, I was ready to quit. So
Are you
I'm
usually
very volatile?
You're a little unstable.
Going through menopause.
We call that
Menopause.
menopause.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to do that. It's personopause.
No. Menopause is different than ladies having menopause.
Oh, menopause.
Menopause, sure, let's use that. But see, now I'm getting results,
Yeah.
right? And when you're getting results, it builds confidence. Like the story about the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Using the brush, and also now I'm getting a better result. Not the end all be all. I think there's probably a better way still. But for now, I have the full confidence. Every time I go in the job now, just confident I can tackle it. Even though there's one I didn't, but now I can go back.
Well, it's funny how you can do like 50 jobs, everything's fantastic, and you get one, and all of a sudden you're going, oh man, this is terrible, because it just deflates you so much.
Need to buy a truck now.
yeah. One bad job, and all of a sudden you're going, I'm gonna go spend 50 grand. That's smart thinking.
Yeah, that's pretty good thinking.
So you go in and you've pre-scrubbed with the fiber pad. Your preference now is the hog's hair.
Yeah, the only reason I've got red pads is because you gave me yours because you didn't want it anymore. But on that one restaurant, I did really well. So, and they're available everywhere. So it's good to have a couple just in the truck as a backup, or just to try and experiment on different things.
Some say that those red pads can transfer red dye.
No, but they can transfer red fibers.
Oh yeah.
But only with the work, not the rotary.
Oh, okay.
When I used to use them for stairs.
Oh yeah.
And they just shed red.
Red
like
shedder.
pick it out. that takes a long time. So, no anymore.
No, don't want to do that again.
No. But see, what I'm realizing is, what do we know about cleaning? This is what I tell people, customers, who they're always looking, right? I said, do you want to know how this works? They go, yeah. And this is what I tell them. So carpet cleaning is all the same. You've got fibers that have something attached to them that you need to remove. And mostly it's acidic on the pH scale, unless it's hard particulate matter, which vacuuming takes care of. And so we apply a very mild alkaline solution, and we agitate it on to chemically unbind those staining agents or soils or whatever it is from the fiber, and then we pick it up with a cotton pad. And I said, no different than a truck mount. You taught me this actually. Truck mount, what are you doing? You're agitating with the kinetic force of hot water, but you still have an alkaline solution that you're agitating the carpet with, and you're picking it up with a vacuum. And so what I learned from that is with the brush on the stairs, all I have to do is just work that in and agitate it, and it's going to unbind everything, and that's going to pick up really easy.
Once the chemistry has emulsified the solution, you've agitated and dissolved it into, removed it from the fiber. Now you just have to remove it from the surface or whatever of the carpet fiber with your absorbent pad and whatever.
And a good way to show this to people, this job I did for this lady, that the part that came out really well, she had 3 big blue ink stains, and we took a white cotton towel and our new magical formula.
The Wink?
The Wink. Who was that guy that is that Green Rhino or was that?
No, that was Paul, Washington Pro.
Washington Pro.
Thanks, Paul.
Sorry, Paul, but yeah, it works great. And we actually put it on there.
We call it Wink.
And
You know, when you say it, you have to wink.
yeah, okay. we blotted it, and this whole towel was full of blue stuff. Right?
Yeah.
You couldn't flush that out. It's the capillary action of that dry cotton pulling the moisture out. And I showed her the rag, and she was amazed that we spent that much time blotting to get those stains up.
You got it out?
About 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good.
maybe 95. It was hardly noticeable when we were done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've scrubbed your fiber pad.
Yep.
Then what?
So scrub the
Then you'll even go for lunch.
No. You don't do too big an area at a time. And then I use Iron Man for everything. That's all I use now.
Okay.
I mean, you've got those blue ones with the striped pads and stuff, but
Oh yeah,
I don't have those yet.
You don't? You have none of those? How about I gave you a couple?
So the ones you gave me, yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah.
But I always use the Iron Man because they work so well.
They do.
The nice thing about the Iron Man, you can use both sides.
And you can see with the dirt.
Yeah, and sometimes when I get too wet and I pull it off the driver, you can just feel it sopping wet.
Yeah.
So you just put another one and just do it again, and then you go, I'm not going to do that next time.
No, you're learning that you don't sopping wet is bad.
Sopping wet is bad. Yeah.
Water bad.
Yeah.
Don't you smack yourself in the side of the head because you're being like cleaning like a truck mount guy.
Right. Reverting back. The nice thing about the Iron Man, because of the absorbency, is that you can go over the same, especially traffic areas, and you can just see the pads getting lighter and lighter. It's not as dark, and you know that every time you go over it, it's getting better.
Yeah, you're getting more out.
Yeah, and so it gets to a point where you can just tell that's just wear.
Yeah.
Like you can tell it's clean, but it's just wear. And then when you show the customer that, they're as amazed as they were when you used to show them the dirty water from the truck mount, which was a lie, of course, because that could have been yesterday's or last week's job. You just pulling the valve on a 100-gallon tank, you know.
That was the restaurant last night. We're not going to tell you that, though.
Right, yeah.
Well, so any final words to your fans?
Yep. Let me recap. The most important things we learned today: don't get mad, calm down, start thinking, and you'll find a solution. Phone a friend if you need to.
It was a lifeline.
Yeah, lifeline. And I'm almost going to make up a checklist, you know, and laminate it and stick it on my machine that says this is the products you have for your truck. And so I can look at it and go, oh yeah, I've got that. That might work.
Are we getting forgetful?
Because I forget that I have that on the truck.
Oh dear.
Right? Because you got your standard set of tools.
Yeah.
And then you use those up and down.
Do you have a spotting tray?
I do have a really nice one.
Huh? Oh yeah. You got stuff in it?
Yeah, it's full. It's full.
You bring it in?
But sometimes stuff gets missed. You know, you go and fill it up, the bottles, and then you forget to put it back in there. You put it somewhere else.
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah, well, I do.
Oh boy.
I put it in a different spot. So
what are we learning?
Organization. We should have a demo of your truck. It's very well organized.
Well, it is organized. I have to be. You know, I mean, I did 4 jobs yesterday. Can you imagine? 4.
Wow.
I even got home at around. I think I was home by 5. I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back full time. 3 jobs a day, 5 days a week.
3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Some
Well,
days are longer.
Roger has more to travel usually
Yeah, pretty big area.
because he lives out where the horses roam.
Yeah.
Cows and horses.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we're gonna say.
That's good enough for now. They've probably already tuned out. So.
Oh yeah, gone to sleep, eh? Do we got any jokes to end up?
I actually heard a really good one the other day.
Oh yeah, come on, joke.
You have to remember it. I don't think I'm going to remember it in the next 10 seconds though. No.
Nope, nothing about a dirty joke. What, 2 white horses fall in a mud puddle?
No.
No, not that one. Okay. All right, we'll let you go then. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for your help. Take care, guys.
Bye.